Choujin X, chapter 51. Now, off the rip, dog, I am coming into this review extremely late, right? The chapter came out 3 days ago, but regardless, I am still fresh in terms of perspectives. I haven't really consumed anything outside of the chapter and the fan translation, right? So I don't know what the community has taken away or if there were any initial confusions like I had upon the first read, but I will be touching base on that within the 3 main takeaways I got from Choujin X chapter 51. Beginning with our opening conversation between Batista and the elder Vlad. Now, with certain points of this conversation, I gotta believe that the message intended is digested way more smoothly in the native language, because in my first read, there was a choice word used in the official translation that led me to a false belief, and it's really a ticky-tack criticism I have about the translation as opposed to the chapter itself. And for me, that happened in the opening scene where Batista tells Vlad that the drug is getting closer to the mark. Now, in my opinion, especially in the context of Choujin X, I feel like a different phrase should have been used other than closer to the mark, because rather than expressing that Batista is making progress on Xember's formula or that Xember is closer to the goal, it makes it seem like Batista is trying to mimic the beast mark through Xember, which is not the case. And this is something that the fan translation did a good job at conveying. And in the following panel, we get a bit of an awkward transition between separate points being made, where in one breath, Batista goes between the new Xember's main flaw into the lack of accuracy of his old formula, and then connecting back to the first point with the mentioning of host DNA. Now, I found that choice of delivery a bit awkward because on the surface, it makes it sound like Tokyo was injected with this new formula, which we all know did not happen, and I know within the community there's no confusion on that, but the way Tokyo was inserted into that specific sentence didn't really fit. But like I said, this is more so a criticism on phrasing and delivery of information rather than the content itself. Now, in terms of the subject of conversation, Batista essentially broke it down to Vlad that he is getting closer to formulating Xember to the point where inoculation will result in the creation of a beast Choujin. Whereas with his first formula, he got lucky that Tokyo actually manifested the necessary ability. He also believes that with this new formula, Choujin will work best as test subjects because the transfer of power is way too overbearing for the standard citizen. From there, we transition into some history behind Elder Vlad, where we discover that he's been on the quest to find a beast since Zora's first vision, which makes me believe that search methods have changed and become more aggressive over time, as we are currently in the era of crashing airplanes and scientific breakthroughs, all while being on the brink of battle and Zora's possible death. Another takeaway I had from this flashback was that this man that I have been connecting as a possible candidate for the bucket Choujin could just as likely be an old picture of Vlad. We also learned that Zora's blood isn't just the ingredient in Batista's formula, but it also seems to be a prerequisite in order to successfully take the beast mark. However, in Vlad's case, he managed to survive. And finally, we have the appearance of the Nue Chimera. Now, initially when the Raws came out, I was in the coffee shop hyped because I thought that Batista had injected himself with Xember. However, I believe that whatever he shot himself up with is more of an antidote or countermeasure for episodes like we've witnessed here, which makes me believe that Batista has experienced this before. And after this chapter, I'm starting to now understand this whole Nue Chimera thing as something more in the lines of a contract, agreement, or pact, rather than a cult or underground movement as I once thought. Because from the looks of it, Batista might have sold his soul and made some type of an offering in order to achieve his goal, which has to have something to do with Choujin X. Now, in terms of the new information that we got with this chapter, I am very satisfied with it because it makes me believe that we have a lot more time with this series, because it seems as if although the Tower and Yamato Mori will be going in a face-off, I don't think Batista will necessarily be a part of it. He's way too valuable for the Tower, and they already told him, like, look, dog, you're gonna have to evacuate, you're gonna have to get out of here because we need you. We need that formula to work out. So Down the lines, we still got the Hero Hunters, we still got the Nue Chimera, we still got whatever Batista is trying to accomplish. We still got Azuma in the cut, you know, he's a little bit psycho, and we still don't even know if we trust Sato or not, right? We got so much more to unfold, and I'm looking forward to it, but at the end of the day, peace, thank y'all, take care, and I'll see you next time.